Hello everyone, my name is Dan Murphy and I am very, 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 very excited because this right here is the first ever episode of Geek of Thrones. God is a Geek's weekly, while it's on, podcast series talking about all things the Game of Thrones TV show. As I said, my name's Dan, and joining me on this lovely venture into TV podcasting, specifically the best show on earth, Game of Thrones, is Mr. Chris White. Chris, how are you doing on this fine Monday evening?
Morning. I'm wonderful, Dan. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I went into uni for 1 hour this morning, if that. That's all I'm in for today. So
what do you have to do this morning?
Shorthand, which is
right.
shite hand, it should actually be called. Haha, banter jokes. Right. I'm going to break the fourth wall. Listen, this is our second attempt at doing this. Audio fucked up the first time, so
it's not going to happen again.
It's not.
It's
but,
not.
You know, that's exactly how you want to start on. You know, when you start a new podcast, you want to start on the right foot, and you want to fuck it up the first time. It's just, it brings you back down to earth. It levels you. It lets you know that you can't take any single respite when doing podcasting. You need to be on the ball all the time.
Yes.
Talking bollocks. I don't know why. I'm just trying to extend it. But we don't need to extend it because we've got so much to talk about, haven't we, Chris? I think we should start, as we did last time. We're talking about our personal relationships, knowledge and whatnot with Game of Thrones. And, you know, who our favourite characters are. So, Chris, have you read the books? How did you get into the show? Etc, etc. You know how this goes, literally.
Oh, I do, yeah. So, I've never read the books. I've tried to read the first one, but I am awful when it comes to reading anything. If it doesn't grab me in the first chapter, I don't tend to carry on. So, I borrowed the DVD off my mate. Just cracked through that, blitzed through that in a couple of days. Caught up about, I think it was after season 2, and then from there I've watched it weekly. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah. It's just a beautiful show, amazing in every kind of way.
So you're not into lore much or anything, are you?
Not lots, but I do tend to look up on certain things.
Yeah, I've noticed from when we did it first time that you have a keen eye for interviews from cast members and rumours and stuff, where I'm more the theory guy, I guess, of actual knowing the lore and stuff, which we'll of course get into it. So, which I think it's a good balance. Like you like the factual side of the show.
Yes. Yeah.
You could get insight from interviews.
Yeah.
And and people spotted on sets and all that type of jazz. Whereas me, because I've never read the books, dear listeners. I've read the first two books, and I've had about a eighth way through the third one, but I've never read past the show, so I don't know. Well, no one does at this point anyway. But I don't know what's coming. I know a couple of storylines that haven't happened in the show that happened in the books, but they're in the past, so they're going to work them in now, which it looks like they are doing.
Possibly. That's a good way to kind of be, though, isn't it?
I won't.
Not really any idea.
Yeah, I won't spoil. And I said, ground rules now. We won't be spoiling anything from the books that hasn't already happened in the show. So, or in the current. We won't be spoiling anything that could happen in the future of the continuum of Game of Thrones. So we're not gonna, we won't be able to be, we won't if there's anything. We won't spoil anything that could happen. We may spoil something by mistake if we predict something from lore from the books, or the flashback that's going to happen this year. I think there's a couple of cool flashbacks that may happen, which I think that's fair game. It's literally the past that they're going back to.
Yeah.
If feedback on that, listeners, if you don't think they are fair game, but tough shit because we'd have already talked to them by then. But yeah, that's my kind of knowledge. I'm the law guy. I'd say I know what's going down in stuff. Who's your favourite character, Chris?
Jon Snow.
Ooh,
definitely.
Is he though? Ooh.
Well, we'll see. But throughout the series, it's always kind of been Jon Snow.
Okay.
I just like his morals. I like the kind of the growth we've seen him from the very start to where he is now. And obviously, at the end of last series, it wasn't great for me. But we'll see what happens this series.
Which we'll talk about more later, no doubt. It's an interesting one because I only started really liking Jon Snow at the end of season 4, and then all through season 5. I thought up to that, until that point, he was a bit vanilla. But that's because the North, the Wall was it wasn't really quite connected to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
But as we're going to discuss, because we know everything we're going to talk about. The North is very well connected to everything this year, is it not?
Oh yes, yeah.
My favourite character, without doubt, is Cersei Lannister. She is Queen Bee, and she is beautiful. Anyway, quick recap of Season 5, where we were. Season 5 wasn't the best for me. I'd say probably the second worst after Season 2, because most of Season 2 drags with Dany and everything. I think the last 3 episodes are solid gold, like fucking brutal, amazing stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't the best series, but it had the best moment for me. Obviously, the fight with the White Walkers was just completely unexpected and just completely batshit insane.
Yeah, especially and I think but up until that point there was a lot of wheel turning. It felt to me, and I've said this before, it felt to me like this, Season 4 from literally the second episode to when Joffrey gets. Oh, we'll be spoiling stuff that's already happened in the show if you didn't realise. So, till Joffrey gets killed, all the way up until Tywin gets killed, it was just non-stop all the way through Season 4. Season 5 felt like a bit of a breather. Take a step back, reassess all the, what all the chess pieces are, for the board to just be smashed into Season 6, and it's going to be quite mad, I expect.
Yeah, definitely.
So, where we are with the characters. Well, Season 5 landed us with Sansa and Theon escaping Ramsay, Arya blind, Cersei angry at the Faith, and about to see that her daughter's been killed.
Oh God, yeah. Tyrion and Varys, what's in Marine?
They're the leaders of Marine now, with
bosses,
Missandei and Grey Worm. Jorah and Dario and Harys are out looking for Dany, who's been kidnapped by Dothraki with her and her dragons out and about. Yeah. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the Wall, obviously the Wall, there's been a treacherous act.
Oh God,
and the wildlings are in flux. Stannis has been killed. Davos is in flux. And I think we may as well. That's kind of where we are with Season 5. So let's go straight into a previews, what we hope, where we think they'll go, looking at the trailers and whatnot. And where a better place to start than the Wall. Jon Snow. The season ends with his dying body leaking blood onto the floor. Does Jon come back from the dead, as everyone is talking about?
Yes, I think he has to. I think because HBO have come out and said that Jon Snow is dead. There's no.
Oh, he's dead. There's no mistake about that. He's dead.
No denying that.
But is he coming back from the dead?
He is definitely coming back.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think it seems. I mean, you can never be too sure with Game of Thrones because anything can happen that's completely unexpected, But all the signs seem to point to Jon Snow, and obviously, as we've talked about in great detail before, about him possibly being part Targaryen. There's that side of it. There's Melisandre being there, ready to kind of raise him from the dead. There's a lot of signs pointing to him, and like he killed a White Walker at Hardhome. He can kick ass. Do you know what I mean? He can't see his end by the fate. By stabbed by a squire.
It just seems like there was a finality to everybody else's deaths.
Yeah.
And they earned it, whereas I think Jon hasn't earned his death. And there's just more to come from it. For him more than any other person. It's like with Rob, to me, like, lost potential, and Oberyn's lost potential, but it was their silly mistakes that led to their death, looking over the rules, not finishing the job and all that type of stuff. Whereas with Jon, he's never done anything, like, he pissed off Thorne and that, but he's never done anything wrong, he's never done anything bad, and I just feel like there's more to come from him. And I'll tell you why, because story time. Let's go on a walk. This year we're getting Bran back, as we know.
Yes.
He's with the Wood. He's with the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah.
Your old man, Maximon Sido.
Max, yeah.
Looking dapper in his little feather coat. And we know that he's going to be learning how to walk, how to control his powers, which will see him in the roots of every tree, everywhere.
Yep.
100 eyes on one, looking into the past. Yeah. We're going to get a flashback. We've seen it in the trailers have you seen the scene in the trailer of a guy in Targaryen, suspiciously looking like Targaryen Kingsguard armour, killing a man in what seems like Stark armour, maybe not armour, but garb.
Yeah. It's definitely Targaryen symbol on his armour.
Well, that's because this is going to be a flashback scene. I imagine it'll be like last season when we opened the season with Cersei's flashback to
Yeah.
her childhood meeting with Maggie the Frog,
Yeah.
the witch, is that we're going to see this season start with the scene from the Tower of Joy. And the Tower of Joy is the last battle. It's not hardly a battle because it wasn't. It was 7 Stark soldiers against 3 Kingsguard. So I don't know what you want to call that, a battle, a face-off.
Yeah.
And basically, this is the Tower of Joy in the mountains that separate Dorne from the rest of the kingdom. And this is a tower that Lyanna Stark, Eddard Stark's sister, was taken to for safety by Rhaegar Targaryen because, as we all know, the Civil War started because Rhaegar Targaryen whisked away Lyanna Stark, who was betrothed to Robert Baratheon. Robert Baratheon wasn't too happy with that, so him and Eddard Stark started a rebellion, which ended up with the dynasty getting overthrown. Now, the thought is in the world is that Rhaegar took Lyanna against her will, raped her, and all that type of jazz. And this is something in the show. If we go back to when Littlefinger met Sansa in the Crypt of Winterfell last season, he says, I think Sansa says something like, when she's looking at the statue of Lyanna, doesn't Sansa say something like she was kidnapped and raped or whatever? And Littlefinger gives this curious little look, like he knows something different. And I think that different is, and the prevailing theory is that when Eddard got there and killed Sir Arthur Dayne, Sir Hightower, I think the one is, but I can't remember his name. They went into that tower and they found Lyanna Stark dead, but who had died during childbirth, and found a little baby boy there.
Yeah.
That baby boy being Jon Snow,
Yeah.
the son of Rhaegar, the son of Lyanna, half Targaryen, half Stark, and then Eddard Stark takes it upon his own personal honour to protect the child. So Robb doesn't want something. Robb wants all Targaryens dead, so the Lannisters. So Eddard says he has his own bastard when he's out there. Takes that pain against his own honour to protect the child, and that leads to the theory of Azor Ahai. Yeah. Sorry for boring your listeners, but I found this shit really, really interesting. Azor Ahai is the Jesus Christ of this world, but he's kind of a warrior. He's the guy who, I don't know actually at this point if he's real or not real.
Have they mentioned him in the series?
I don't think they've mentioned him in the series, but he's basically the red god, the red god king who Melisandre.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically their saviour, their prophet, whoever. But I think he did exist, like Jesus Christ existed. And basically, he's the guy who wielded the sword Nightbringer, or Daybringer, or Lightbringer, I think, and sent back the White Walkers, ended the long night, and sent back the White Walkers into the land of Neverwinter. It was into permanent hibernation. The legend it's a legend. It's not like Azor Ahai is a person. Azor Ahai is like a title, I think. And Melisandre thought that Stannis was the next Azor Ahai, destined to fight back the White Walkers and all that type of stuff. She knows now that's a mistake. She says as much in the trailer. The great victory I saw in the flames was wrong. Yeah. And I think she's going to realise that Jon Snow is actually Azor Ahai, and then she'll bring him back to life. And then he'll be the one. The season will end, if it has a happy ending, with him fighting back the White Walkers. Bran, as I theorised, with the "you will fly" line. He'll be walking into a dragon, burning all of them to a cinder. Arya will be blind, just killing folk, and it'll all be beautiful. But it'll never be that happy, but a man can dream. So what do you think of all that theory? Does that confirm to you that Johnny's coming back?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's definitely coming back. I think that's the way it's going to happen. Whether the series will end with that battle, I don't know.
Okay. No, I think that'll be like the end game. It wouldn't surprise me if Game of Thrones ended with a movie doing that.
Oh God, can you imagine?
It'd be amazing.
But they were saying, like I read that they'd said there was going to be at least 2 more series, but they might be shorter series. So there might be like 8 episodes or so. But I think it's definitely going to be the one to lead the charge against the dragons, with Daenerys at his side. I think that's, like we've spoken before, obviously, about how they kind of all unite for the greater good against the White Walkers, and
they're going to have to, aren't they?
They're going to absolutely going to have to, because if you remember that Hardhome, that the sheer amount of
Yeah.
the whites, the
Well,
undead.
they're the most efficient army going. They get soldiers when they kill soldiers, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's a never-ending army if you
yeah,
always
definitely,
lose. So yeah, they're going to have to unite, and is John going to be the savior who
definitely.
unites it? Well, it seems like I think we both agreed on the last podcast, the Dead podcast, the Ghost podcast that'll
Yeah.
never be brought back from the dead. That the North, for the first time in the season, possibly, is looking the more interesting place over the South, and that's because we've got so many fractions splintering off in different places and all coming together in the same breath. And I guess we should lay that out. It's obviously the Wildlings are in flux because they've just been let through by their leader. Tormund, thought he was going to be the guy who leads them through the long night. He was wrong.
Yeah.
Davos is at Castle Black with a few Snow loyalists and Melisandre, and then Alistair Thorne, Ollie, and others. Are the traitors who want Jon Snow's body. Then you've got Sansa on the run from Ramsay with Theon, and then you have where are they going to end up? We see Sansa in Stark garb again, which she must be somewhere safe. So where's she going to end up? Then we have the Greyjoys ready to do something this year, and then you have Ramsay at the House Bolton ready to fight against the Wildlands. So what do you think about this setup? It's certainly interesting, isn't it? And of course, Littlefinger's in flux as well with his Knights of the Vale. So what do you think's going to go down in the North? Well, it's really interesting. It's really nicely poised.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so much that could potentially happen in and off, and as you say, it's going to be a main focus point of this series. Sansa wants revenge, doesn't she? She says it in the trailer. It says it's all she thinks about. I think that she will have that. She will have that revenge, but it will be on a massive scale. There'll surely be a team up with maybe Davos to take out the Boltons.
Well, it's pretty clear from the trailers that Davos has united the Northern Houses the Stark loyalists and the Wildlings to fight together against the Boltons. Because if you look at the battle scenes on the trailer, there's banners for House Kerwin, House Umber, House Stark. That flag's not been raised since season 3, and also there's a picture, and there's a still of Davos giving his line about the dead are coming. There's banners in the background. They could either be the bear of House Mormont or the crocodile of House Reed. So so it's all finely poised, isn't it?
Whether I mean, logically, you'd think they were going for vengeance on like the Boltons, but they've got the potential to throw a curveball in and kind of turn them to unite them maybe against the White Walkers. That'd be kind of unexpected, but understandable, because as we said, there's no one's going to stop them unless every single person gets together, and nothing's going to be left. There's going to be no throne to fight for if no one's left. So
we didn't even mention all these factions in the North. Didn't even mention the White Walkers, who I went through the trailer again actually the other day.
Same here.
And there's something I noticed on the back of the Night's King, actually, very interesting. He has a horn on his back, a big horn. Now, this is called, I don't know actually what it's called. I can't remember its name. But this horn is famous in the North lore. In the books, Tormund, or your man who gets killed last season, the leader, the king.
Yes.
What's he called? I really liked him as well. Mance Rayder.
Oh yeah.
He mentions that there's this horn that they have, that once blown, destroys the wall.
Right.
The Wildlings say they have it in the books to try and bluff their way through the wall, because they don't want the wall destroyed, or it's pointless them even leaving. But in the trailer, the White Walker, the Night's King, has this horn on his back.
Okay.
The horn that's meant to destroy the wall. Does this season end with the White Walkers blowing this horn and the wall coming crashing down?
Oh man, yeah, it could do. I hope not. I think this just goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? I think there's a good chance that'll happen, because obviously that you want the kind of final few series to look like there's no escape for the kind of the Jon Snows of the of the world, and you know, having that happen makes perfect sense. So they're coming to destroy everything, and that'd be a perfect place to start. So there's a good chance that can happen. Don't really want it to, but I don't really I don't really know what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's a good chance that'll happen.
That what an ending that would be, just him blowing the horn and then just the wall crashing down and just maybe that's how it ends. Maybe even episode 9, that's the big moment. They're all that battle's happening in the wall, the distance, and you see the wall crashing. Because I think season 1's going to end with the wildlings all taking over Castle Black and killing all the traitors. I think Thorn, all of them are dead in the first episode.
Oh God, that's quite
when Davos.
Yeah,
because we've seen the trailer of one the giant smashing down the gate. Tormund killing Thorn. That'd be nice revenge. All that type of stuff. So I think that's it's a nice early victory before we get destroyed again.
No, that's
and then
good.
They're gonna that's when
unity for Jon Snow.
Yeah, and they have their own base then. To build from. Davos goes out and unites all these northern houses together to fight the Boltons. And with Davos going about uniting the houses,
definitely,
if we remember, last time we see Rickon and Osha is when Bran sends them away to House Umber. Do you think we'll see Rickon and Osha again? Do you think we'll see other people again? Do you think we'll see Benjen Stark again, who's not been seen since the third episode of the whole series? And then
it's been a while, hasn't it?
And then we'll talk about these three. Do you think we'll see any of those three this year?
Possibly. I don't know. With like Benjen especially not being featured for ages, there's always a chance he can return. Maybe at a vital moment. I don't really know. Rickon and Asher, they can return. I mean, like we saw with last season, Bran wasn't even in it.
Yeah. Bran, yeah.
You know, but we kind of know why.
Forward to Bran this year?
Pardon?
Are you looking forward to Bran this year?
Yeah, definitely. He's doing his he's been doing his Luke Skywalker training with his so it'd be interesting to see him come back and see what kind of powers he's got now and what he's going to bring to the table this season.
I'm interested. I don't think we'll see Bran leave the tree this year because I don't see how they physically get him. But like I said, it's hard to keep repeating things.
I know.
But there's a scene in the trailer of Mira looking up worryingly up a cliff, Mira Reed, who I like a lot. And I reckon we might even see... There's the show underplays it a bit because of budget reasons, but there's a lot of creatures in this world. There's basilisks, there's... we've seen manticores, even though manticores are massive in the books. There's basilisks, there's unicorns even. There's loads of creatures in the books that, never really get played on. But one thing that did get mentioned last season was ice spiders. Do we see an ice spider trying to attack Mira Reed when she's out with children of the forest or something?
Possibly.
Do you want to see a massive fucking ice spider?
I want to see. Yeah, definitely.
So it's terrifying.
I want to see it. I want to see shit kick off, and I think to kind of up the game, definitely bring him in. It'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think Bran leaves the North this year? Do you think?
No, I think he's never going to walk again. Like Three-Eyed Raven says, you'll never walk again, but you will fly. He will remain in the tree, he will be everywhere because he can walk, like you see it in the trailer. Yeah, like he stood next to the Night's King.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see loads of visions and loads of flashbacks. And another flashback actually, which I'll talk about later.
But the Night's King's looking at him as well. So,
do you have any theories of who the Night's King is?
No, but I believe you might, Dan.
Yeah, how'd you guess?
No, I do.
Theory, the prominent theory and the one I like, and which might explain why he can see him in this vision. If they're having the same vision, maybe they have the same blood. Basically, the theory of the Night's King is that one of the first, I think it might even be the first, and I should have researched this. What's the bloody name of the leader of the Night's Watch? Lord Commander.
Yeah. Oh, well
Got
done.
It.
Yeah.
it only took a week. The third ever Lord Commander of the Night's Watch was a man named Brandon Stark. And back then, the Night's Watch was a prestigious organisation. They were very honourable, very thought upon. It was an honour to go there, not just the place where crooks are sent this time. So they would have had, good armour, good weaponry, etc. The Night's King is dabbed up in some pretty dapper black armour, which, you know, frozen in time for thousands of years up in the north, very could be, you know, original Night's Watch armour. And the theory is that this Lord Commander fell in love with a white woman. Don't know how this works, don't ask me. Then went off into the land of Neverwinter to be in love with her and was never seen again. So the theory is that a man named Brandon Stark is the Night's King, which could explain why, you know, same blood, maybe he's a warg. He can, like, I say it's a vision and he's touching him. Maybe that's why they can be, like, physical in the dreams and communicate, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I think
so finely poised the North. Like I said, this battle, we're saying the White Walkers. It could be that White Walkers interrupt the battle. It could be Littlefinger comes in with his Knights of the Vale. You know, he set up this war between the Boltons and Stannis, didn't he? Really.
Yeah.
So it could be that. There could be so many things that could happen. I think it's just so cool. The North is like the centre of things for the first time.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's definitely good.
But leaving the North, listeners, we'll be coming to death predictions later, so we may well return. But leaving the North and going slightly south to the Riverlands, and we're seeing the Riverlands again for the first time.
Yep.
Walder Frey's back. I was so happy when I saw that. That was like my favourite moment in the trailer. I was like wailing. There was Lannister guards in his hall. Mm-hmm. Jaime looks to be in the Riverlands. Maybe I don't know why he'd be there, but he's led a Lannister battalion.
Yeah.
There's a scene even of Brienne of Tarth and Podrick Payne with a Tully banner behind them, which shows that they're in Riverrun, the Riverlands. So, and there's also an interesting thing. Maybe not many people picked up on this, but everyone's saying there's no Bronn in the trailer. But I think there is. There's a scene of Podrick getting choked out by someone, and if you pause it just at the right time, you can see a little strand of long black hair. And I think that's Bronn. I think it's a fake out, and it's just gonna be them two seeing each other for the first time in probably a year or so in Showtime, and just being banter mates and giving each other a nuggie. I think that's what it's gonna be. So I think it's gonna be a reunion of Brienne and Jaime at the Riverlands. Why do you think Jaime's been sent there?
I don't know.
What do you think's happening there? Because last time we know, Jaime's coming back with his daughter, with Trystane. You know, his dead daughter and Trystane. You'd have thought there'd be more pressing matters, and of course, all the stuff with their faith as well. So we see Jaime leading the charge with the king that is Mace Tyrell with his amazing plumed helm.
Yeah.
Oh mate, what a guy! And you know, Jaime and them two leading the charge into the church, into the Baelor's sept. Yeah. So what's happening there? What's happening first?
Okay, so first episode, we're going to see the Sparrows wiped out completely.
Do you think that'll happen? Do you think the traitors and the Sparrows both wiped out in the first episode?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think they're going to kick off with that.
The first episode, just everyone.
I think you're going to see the mountain just completely destroy everyone. It'll end up probably with Cersei, probably either killing the High Sparrow herself or watching the mountain do it in the most brutal ways. But I think
has Cersei killed anyone herself outright?
No, but I think
that'd be cool. That'd be a cool moment just to show that she's fully gone over the edge.
Because he's the only one who's kind of made her look
weak
like that. You know, he's embarrassed her, and she's never really had that kind of embarrassment before. So it'd be good to see that happen. Just a clean cut to the throat, nothing brutal.
What happens for the rest of the season in King's Landing then? Do you think?
It's
interesting, isn't it?
I think it'll be a case of taking it back, showing King's Landing and the Westeros who's in charge. Mm-hmm. Then she will send Jaime off for a reason which I have no idea about. Really.
Yeah. So do you think she sends Jaime? That's the point. Why would Cersei not send Jaime straight back to Dawn to go and fucking just wipe out the day?
I know.
Can she do that? Do they need them in the fold? They have us hostage, so.
Right.
Well, do you think we'll see Dawn again this year? There's no sign of in the trailer. They were the worst bit of season 5 for Sand Snakes.
And I've been thinking why we won't see them, because what at the moment, what reason have we got to see why Jaime will be travelling that way, other than the word's gotten down about the White Walkers? Maybe he's gone to find out or form an alliance, or that's why Dawn's less important, because there's bigger fish to fry. So maybe that'll be taken care of later. Brienne's up there. Jaime and Brienne have got a friendship that we were looking at names for the episodes.
Oh yeah, we were.
And one of them was it the what's it called? The
Oathbreaker, episode 3. So Oathkeeper, sorry, Oathkeeper.
Right. So that could be to do with that. I think Jamie and Brienne's relationship will be brought back to the forefront. And I think that'll have something to do with the White Walkers. I think the majority of the focus will be on the White Walkers this season.
See, I think all right, there'll be a focus as in there's loads of talking about them. But apart from Bran's dreams, I don't think we'll see him until that's part in episode 9, episode 9 or 10 that I theorised.
I think the threat of the White Walkers will be a talking point more so than an actual fight with them.
So why do you think he'd go to? They've already got an alliance with House Frey, so why would he go there? Maybe he's just going to see if everything's in order.
Maybe. I mean, with him and Brienne are close, aren't they? And he might be doing this without. He may have been sent there, or he may have talked to Cersei about heading north, but his actual intentions to find Brienne might be his own.
What do you think Brienne finds Sansa? Because Sansa, we don't know. Brienne's out in the woods where Sansa is. Do you think Brienne finds her?
I'd like.
I never really thought about that because that makes the most sense.
I'd like to think so.
Brienne
presumably
takes her north somewhere. And like I said, Oathkeeper's the 3rd episode. So a lot's going to happen in the first 2 episodes of getting Sansa back to wherever. But that's something links to another name of season 2, doesn't it? The name of season 2, which we'll talk to when I get to another theory, man. Yeah. But with us going back to the Riverlands, there's a few more characters who could be coming back. Do you think we'll see Edmure Tully, the guy the survivors of the Red Wedding, Edmure Tully, because he was taken away for his marriage, and the Blackfish Tully, Brynden the Blackfish Tully. So do you think we see those 2 again?
I think so. I think the Red Wedding and the aftermath of the Red Wedding is going to be brought to the forefront anyway.
It must be, mustn't it?
Because Walder Frey is in it. He's only going to be in it to be killed. Surely. Someone's got to take vengeance for that. Another
person who we may be seeing in this area, I think, is the character Ian McShane will be playing.
Yes.
You have some foresight on this, I believe?
So, yeah, I mean, at the moment it's a rumour, so this isn't really spoiling anything. Obviously, you don't have to listen, but it's just...
if you don't want to know anything, potentially, like, we're just theorising, but this is, like, rumours, then skip 2 minutes or so in the future.
Yeah, so... Basically, Ian McShane has said that he is responsible for bringing back a character we all thought was dead. Now, it's very clear that Jon Snow is...
That's what everyone jumps to.
Yeah, it's a separate kind of matter. Obviously, we see Melisandre and Davos and everyone up north with him, so it's very... I don't think you're going to see Ian McShane there. The other character that they're saying might be brought back is the Hound.
Oh, right. Oh, shit. I thought you were going to say something else then. Oh, shit, myself. The Hound, that's an interesting one, because we never see Hound's actual death.
Exactly. We all think he is. But the kind of rumour is that Ian McShane plays this elder of these kind of monks. And one of the monks in the monastery is, like, huge, like, tall. We believe he brought him back and helped him, nursed him back to health and found him, like, left for dead. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out, if it's true. As I say, we don't know if it's true. It's a complete rumour. No one's confirmed it. We'll see what happens.
On more, I've got some insight into this as well, because on more of my researching of the trailers and stuff after this, a name came to my attention called Bloodraven.
Okay.
Who you describe. I think Ian McShane's going to play a character called Bloodraven. My original theory was that Ian McShane was going to play Blackfish, and he'd be recasted as the Blackfish would be recasted.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nailed on from what I've seen that he's going to play a character called Bloodraven, who is responsible for a character called Lady Stoneheart, and that's all I'm going to say, because this is a massive bit in the books that should have, from book readers say it should have happened in season 4, but now it looks like they're doing it now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil anymore because it's mind blowing. I'm annoyed it got spoiled for me.
And I tell you what, if it does happen, we will talk about it relentlessly, because I want to talk about it, and I've just been reading about it, and it's blown my mind. So to see it happen, would be amazing.
I know this is going to make you want to do it, but honestly, do not, under any circumstances, look up the word I've just said. Another thing I want to say actually about the Riverlands before we move on, is, when I was talking about Bran's flashbacks and stuff before, I saw I noticed something. You remember the scene of someone getting stabbed in like on a shadow
Yes.
in the scene?
Yeah.
I've got a theory as to who that person may be, and it looks like it's in the throne room of King's Landing.
I've got a theory as well, but I'll see if
Well, we may well agree.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a flashback. I don't know if
Yeah.
this is through Bran's eyes or just a flashback of Jamie killing the Mad King.
Yes, I think the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just look. I think if you look in the corner of that shot, there's the door. The door is painted blue, which is how it was painted before Joffrey redecorated it all. I think we'll just see the scene of a young Jaime Lannister, and maybe just seeing loads of flash. Yeah, because it could be because Eddard Stark walks in on him, killing him. If you remember, and Jaime sat on the throne wiping his blade and then walks away. I think we're going to see loads of flashbacks through Stark's eyes, maybe Eddard Stark's eyes, maybe through the whole season. And I think it'll end with us seeing Sean Bean in some capacity, which will be wonderful. Well, I don't know what it would be, but it's going to be maybe he'll reveal a secret to Bran of something that was told to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Joffrey's dead. Fucking doesn't matter. But yeah, I think we're going to see a flashback through the lives, through the war, through the rebellion, of key moments in it.
Yeah.
Well, through Bran's eyes, which would be really quite cool.
Yeah, I think it's a given that's going to happen. You kind of in that part of the trailer, it kind of like cuts between. I think the sparrow's on his knees and someone's walking up behind him, and it's kind of set in.
It's clever editing.
And it makes you think that he's being stabbed in the back, but the guy's too big to be the sparrow. You know, so yeah,
it's all clever editing.
Yeah, that's why
I'm really interested to see the Mad King in the flesh though, because the Mad King from book description stuff, he is fucking mad. He's got like really long fingernails, and he's just like proper manky. He's like, you know, the dude in Lord of the Rings who gets possessed.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like that type thing, but not possessed. So
it'd be awesome to see who they cast in that, because they could do like a really
special
actor.
guest. Yeah. I mean, it would be cool. I'm don't know though. It'll probably just be some English actor that you've probably seen in fucking Life on Mars or something.
Yeah.
Which have you ever seen? Quick bit beside. Have you ever seen Ripper Street?
The ones I watched some of the first season.
Yeah, it's fun. That show is brilliant because it's literally a Guess Who of Game of Thrones actors. So many people show up out of nowhere. It's brilliant. I love it
Jerome
so much.
Flynn's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's a star, but then you get in different parts of the show. I've seen Qyburn, Barristan Selmy, Jorah, Benjen Stark, just fucking loads. Just literally, practically nearly every minor Northern English character you can think of is in it. It's beautiful. Moving on.
It's like Doctor Who. Doctor Who does that. It's like everyone from Game of Thrones in it as well.
It's so good. I love shows like that because you see random actors every now and then. Anyway, another new character in this season is, it seems like the Greyjoys are coming back big time. We see Yara in a couple of different scenes, and we see a mysterious fellow in the rain lifting a hood up with a weird beard mustache type thing. That, my friends, is a player called Euron Greyjoy. He is one of Theon Greyjoy's uncles. It's another storyline that readers say should have happened in season 4, but he is here now, and I won't tell you any more, Chris, than he is a pirate. Okay. But this guy is dark as fuck, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Cool.
My theory is that he's going to become the leader of Pike and the Greyjoys. I don't know what happens to Baelor, but I think he's gone. Maybe he kills him, maybe he just dies, I don't know. Yeah. But I think Euron is going to be the new leader, because we see him getting christened by the drowned god and by his other uncle, whose name means he's always damp, because he's that religious. He's just going to see water all the time. He's going to become the leader, and as he's a pirate, there's a scene of Yara Greyjoy kissing a prostitute, and this prostitute has got a tear tattooed on her eye, which means she's a slave prostitute of Volantis, which is one of the not a free city, but it's one of the cities that is quite near to where Dany and her dragons are.
Yeah.
Now, more theories from books. There is a thing that apparently Euron Greyjoy has called the Dragon Horn, which allows people to brainwash dragons.
Wow. I'd be interested.
I don't know if it'll go this far, but with Yara going in that direction, I feel like Euron's going to try and get in control of a dragon to win the North. Because if you remember, the Euron Greyjoy is the Greyjoys are the only members who are still in open rebellion, the only members of the Battle of Five Kings. You know, Balon Greyjoy is technically the winner of the War of the Five Kings. He's the only king who didn't fucking die. He's the only one who's in open rebellion still against the crown. It's really interesting because 3 different sides could swoop in for this battle. Maybe even 4 if you count Jaime. 4 different armies could swoop in and either help or hinder our wildlings and northern houses against the Boltons.
Yeah.
So like I said, we've come a quick detour back to the north, but so much just could happen up there, couldn't it?
Yeah. Oh God, we've not even really talked about Ramsay.
Well,
Theon is so much.
You know, he's just
so
the
much
most
to talk
simplest
about
one at this
still,
point,
yeah.
isn't it?
I think just kind of quickly touching on that, I think it'd be silly not to have some form of revenge for Theon and Sansa on Ramsay.
I think Ramsay has to meet his comeuppance this year. He's been nothing but it's like you don't really need to talk about Ramsay because you know his standard. He's he's going to be leading the charge. Whatever you say. I think my theory. You don't see any of Roose Bolton in these trailers. I don't know why, and he always seems subservient to his father. But I could see Roose maybe getting. I could see Ramsay maybe stabbing it to Roose so he can go and lead his war or something. I don't know. But it's interesting. I think the Boltons may meet their end this year because it's just it seems like the gods are just conspiring against them at this point. But they've been lucky thus far, haven't they?
Oh God,
And, they've had everything go their way.
I know. He's easily been the best kind of villain for me. Like, just
he's brilliant.
Better
He's
than Joffrey.
Yep.
But to be fair, towards the end, I kind of like Joffrey. I don't know why. I just kind of appreciated him. It's he was a complete and utter.
I think.
Yeah.
You can say cunt. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna, but I
think good. I think one more theory for me on the northern things. I left it to this point because he's technically not in the north at this point. But Samuel Tarly, we've not seen much of him, have we, since he left for Old Town?
Yeah.
There's one single scene of him crying. Now, this is my theory, ladies and gentlemen, and this is out of my own volition. This isn't off book knowledge or anything. Well, it's kind of off book knowledge, but I think this was happening anyway. And off. I'm talking a lot of bollocks. It's off casting knowledge as well. Basically, Samwell leaves the north with Gilly to go to Old Town, which is in the south, to become a Maester. Trained to be a Maester after your man Targaryen died. There's a scene of him crying. I think that scene is of him not finding out about Jon getting betrayed, Jon dying, his best friend dying, and so he's crying. And at that point, I think Samwell snaps. He's no longer going to Old Town. He's going straight back to the north to save his friend or whatever. But before that, to get to Old Town, or to get to the north from Old Town, you have to go through Highgarden, through the Reach. And in the Reach is no other than House Tarly's castle, where his family live. And House Tarly are one of the few houses to have a Targaryen sword. Not Targaryen sword, I thought it. A Valyrian steel sword. A Valyrian steel sword. Because Randall Tarly is one of the greatest warriors in the kingdom. He's the only person who defeated Robert Baratheon's army in the rebellion. I think Sam's going to go to his house. He's going to go to his father, and his brother, funnily enough, is called Dickon, who I think that'll be aptly named. I think he's going to go to his father, who hates him, and go to his younger brother, who's obviously thinks he's going to be better than him, and he's going to demand his birthright of the Valyrian steel sword, because Valyrian steel, made of dragonfire, can probably kill White Walkers, and that's probably what he's going to theorise, if he's not already said that's fact already, and try and get his sword and go back north with it. And I think that's what he'll do eventually, because we know that his mum's brother, dad, and probably, I think he has a sister, but I might be wrong, have all been casted. I don't know who by, but they've all been casted. So I think Sam's going to get Valyrian. He's going to prove himself somehow. I don't know how.
To be fair, mate, he fucking did, hasn't he? Like, he killed that one.
But they're not going to believe that, are they?
I know,
that's fine.
But it's not. They should believe the kids.
But I think he's going to get his Valyrian steel sword back. He's going to get his birthright and then go back north with it. So what do you think of that? Do you think that's how Sam's going to play in this year?
I'd love him to play a massive role in this. He's been, like, behind the scenes, he's been one of the best characters, and like his story's been so interesting, especially his like little relationship with Gilly. Obviously he got lucky last year, which was lovely for him. That was a really like sweet scene. So he deserves some kind of meaty storylines. He's always
glory.
been there for Jon Snow. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he deserves it. He'd be awesome.
Well, Jon's always been there for him, and that's what I think his reason is going to be. Jon was always there. You know, he's the one who protected him when he was there. I think he's going to go back and try and I don't know how he'd think this, but maybe just it's all going to link somehow, and that's why the North this year is just so fucking fascinating. So much stuff coming into it. So, is there anything before we leave Westeros? Is there any other plot points or anything you think will happen this year? What do you think is going to go down with any other characters we've not mentioned? Littlefinger's hardly been given a word. Tommen, plenty of people. So what else do you think is going to go down?
So quickly, I think Marjorie and Loras will be part of Cersei's plan. I think they'll kind of form an unlikely alliance.
Okay.
I think they'll both be. We'll get onto death later, but I think they're both gonna be okay. I think Daenerys will form.
Whoa! You save Daenerys for now. We'll go in though. Anything else in Westeros specifically?
All right then. So
hold your horses, son.
I reckon Sansa will take back Winterfell.
Okay. I saw she's going to be like the victorious moment of the season for her. Is going to be her standing on Winterfell.
Yeah, I think
after winning the battle.
That's my biggest kind of hope for next.
Okay,
for
with
series.
Davos by her side and whatnot.
All nice and happy. Everyone's a winner. I think that's what's going to happen.
Where do you think Littlefinger fits into that?
Well, I think he's going to die.
It's interesting. Who by?
I don't know. I think I've got a feeling he's going to do it for Sansa. I think there'll be a point where there's no one there. Not that she can't protect herself, but I think she'll just be either overpowered with Ramsay maybe or something. He'll step in because
Littlefinger's not a fighter, never has been.
No, but he loves the Starks. He loved Caitlyn. He's Sansa. Got a really soft spot for Sansa. I think he'll kind of all his kind of past mistakes and all his betrayal and everything that we see him up until this series will kind of not be forgotten.
So you think he's going to get a redeeming?
Yeah, in a sense, he's not asking for redemption, but I think it will be for many of the people watching. It'll be a redemption of sorts.
Right. I think there's nothing else. I think, like I said, before we move to Westeros to Essos, I just think North this year, where all the interesting stuff is, there'll be a mini civil war in King's Landing with the Faith against the Crown, but I think the Crown are going to crush them. And then I don't really see where the stuff down south goes from there, but all the stuff in the north, from the Riverlands up to Bran in the Tree, I think it's all fascinating stuff. So
definitely. And
I think because we've talked well more than we did on the last one, so this has been it's worked out well in the end. Yeah. We'll go to Essos first. To Bravos, Arya is blind.
Yep.
What happens over there?
You tell me. At the end of last season, I had no clue what was going on in those final moments. Essentially, I think
the point was saying that Jaqen doesn't exist, does he?
Yes, yeah, and I think we mentioned about her being a parallel to Bran.
We did.
Her looking like she's not warging, but.
Well, she has the clouded eyes of a warg.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
It could be, and there's nothing saying another Stark can't be.
No, exactly. But she's looking like. He says she's had a second chance. There won't be a third. Mm-hmm. It looks like she'll go into that dark place and she'll be training and she'll come back, with a lot more skill and maybe kind of forgotten about the list. But
do you think she will? Do you think she'll be able to let it go?
I think for the majority, we'll assume that she has. But that's where the potential for her to go to King's Landing will come in. And exact revenge.
Yeah. I think she'll toe the line for most of the season. She'll train. She'll be a good little girl, learn and whatnot. But then there'll become a moment where she has to choose whether to stay or blow a second chance and kill everyone and leave. And I don't know which way she'll go at that point, and because she's already made that mistake once, and if she fails, there's no fair chance her face ends up on the wall. It's interesting, but saying that, Jaqen does say something like a face must end up in the wall, so whose face is he talking about? Really weird stuff, and it's really strange, but
I think Jaqen, like, he's obviously, to us at the moment, he seems like a relatively decent person. But maybe he's got.
I think he's the bad guy now.
Well, I haven't done, but then I think that's why she will leave, because I don't think Arya would necessarily kill anyone that didn't deserve it. You know, she's a Stark at the end of the day.
So you think she'll sneak off and not kill?
I think she may kill him if he has ulterior motives and she sees something that he does that that isn't right, and then that's what will send her off to King's Landing.
I was scared of this before. When I found out that Jack would be back for season 5, I was scared that they were going to make him into a dick because I was one of my favourites from season 2. I loved him and we hadn't seen him for ages, but I'm scared he's gone full heel. To say, Tyrion is, for all rights and purposes, is the king of Meereen at this moment in time.
Yes.
What's happening over there? He's in the dragon's den, literally.
Oh, yeah, God, that was a pretty good scene. Clearly, he doesn't die at the hands of a dragon because that'd be shit. But no, he's clearly got the power of the dragons on his side. You see the elders of Meereen or other. I think is it other towns around him, other cities around him, those people that come to talk to him.
I think they're either the pissed off high lords, like former slavers of Meereen, or they're either like the very higher classes of other towns near him.
I think one thing with Tyrion, he can talk his way out of anything. He's a very clever man. Obviously, he drinks and he knows things, is what he says.
He certainly does.
And he does. He's an excellent character who can convince anyone to do anything. He's a very smart man as well, and with his little sidekick by his side, I think that'll be an amazing little partnership. And then obviously you've got the Red Woman as well, who we don't know a lot about, or I don't know a lot about.
Oh, the new Red Woman, yeah, I don't know. I know her name is Kinvara, and she's played by a Russian lady. Yeah. That's all I know.
So that'll be exciting. That'll be interesting. If there's any mention of kind of Melisandre, if those two know each other, if they're estranged, if they're enemies, you just have no idea. So it'd be a
way to link it all together.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to incorporate the North into Meereen and Tyrion's story as well. Because they've got to try and kind of bring it together.
At some point, it's going to have to, hasn't it? In Essos, last thing is Dany is with her former Dothraki horde, we believe. So he's been taken to Vest Dothrak, which is the place where Khaleesi's are taken when their calves die. Jorah and Daario are looking for her. What's going to happen there?
The scene in the trailer with Drogon flying over, like if I was a Dothraki and I saw that, I'd listen to Daenerys. I wouldn't,
especially their type of people who are like, very, I don't know what's the word, like they're not technologically advanced for that time, are they?
Yeah, exactly.
Very rural and stuff.
So I think to be
fair, like if you did a magic trick to a caveman, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think that they'd be very obedient, and it would seem that they would form some.
Oh, do you think she'll become the fucking leader of that Khalasar?
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I think a time with Marines over. I think that's gone to pan down.
She needs to get over to fucking Westeros at some point to do her goal, doesn't she?
It will definitely happen this season. Her path.
Do you think this season ends with her on a boat over?
Yeah, definitely. Her path in the whole of the show for me is to get to the Iron Throne. With
Tyrion with her.
Maybe not on the boat, but at some point, yes.
What did I say then? I meant with Tyrion. Wait, did I say with Tyrion with her then?
You said with Tyrion, yeah.
Yeah, I thought when I read myself back, I thought I said on a river. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I think Tyrion and Daenerys had an awesome little partnership in the last series, so I think that'll be rekindled. I think she'll definitely be heading to King's Landing to take the Iron Throne. Whether Tyrion's on that boat or not, I don't think so, but I think at some point they'll be together again.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we've got to talk about in regards to where we think plot points will go. Like I said, North fascinating, and other stuff seem a little disconnected, but we're not. We've got a feeling it's going to be all right, don't we?
Yeah, I don't doubt him.
Okay. Now then, death predictions. We're gonna have to run through this quick time, but if you want to say any comment on anyone, and any explanation, I may have to ask you. Then we can talk about it.
Yes.
Okay. Death predictions. Listeners are gonna go through every character. Well, nearly every character. We're not gonna do fucking Tavern Wench 1 and Random Rioter 4. We're gonna say yes or no. We have to say yes or no on everyone, and then we're gonna come back to it at the end of the season to see who was right and who was wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Daenerys.
No.
I agree. Tyrion.
No.
I agree. Sansa Stark.
No.
I agree. Rob Strong or the Mountain.
Yes.
I disagree. Arya.
No.
I agree.
Yeah.
Theon.
No.
I think yes.
Mm.
Ramsay.
Yes.
I agree. Sir Davos.
No.
Agreed. Cersei. You dare.
Yes.
No! Cersei is not dying, she's mad. Brandon Stark.
No.
I agree. Any reason for Cersei, by the way? I forgot to have skipped over that a little bit.
I just think it'd be a shock. And
It would, certainly would be.
I think that'd be one of the most shocking, because she's saying she's obviously apart from last season, but she's one of the most powerful players in the Game of Thrones. So there's a good chance that she may die, or they may save it for later down the line when Daenerys kills her.
Ooh.
Yes, there you go.
So you sticking with yes though?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Melisandre.
She's kind of expendable. I would say yes.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Marjorie.
Oh, I hope not. No.
You had the exact same reaction when you told this the first time. Record this evening.
I know.
I say no as well. Jorah Mormont nailed on. He has to.
Yeah, he does.
He
and
has to.
he'll do it for Daenerys.
He is, isn't he? The fucking wet flannel.
Yeah.
Littlefinger.
Yes.
I think no. He's going to be the winner at this at some point. Him and Varys, they're going to be the ones standing tall opposed all the dead bodies. The Night's King.
Nah.
Agreed. Jaime Lannister.
Oh, God, no.
We agreed. No. I also think no. Dario Naharis.
No.
I think yes.
Okay.
Because I've got a sneaky feeling there might be something, a bad side to him that hasn't quite revealed itself yet, but I'm not sure. Tommen Baratheon.
Nah. There's been too many kings die.
See, I think he could do, because it's the prophecy to Cersei that her 3 children will die, and it would send her crazy, which is crazy Cersei is cool Cersei. 4 Cs.
No, that's fair enough, yeah.
But you are right, there is too many kings. Can they kill another king?
They can do what they want, to be fair, can't they?
I'm going to stick my neck out and say yes.
Okay.
Jack and Hagar.
Yes.
I agree, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Well, the person of Jack and Hagar's face, because Jack and doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Roose Bolton.
Yeah, I would say yeah. Yeah.
We are agreed. Brienne of Tarth.
No, unless Captain Phasma's got a bigger role in Star Wars.
I'm going to say no as well. Loris Tyrell.
Nah. Although he's in Iron Fist, isn't he? The Netflix series. So
he is. He's
quite busy with that. So maybe he signed up because
shit, that's a good show.
He's dead.
But he's not a big player in Game of Thrones, is he? So he's not exactly got his days filled with Game of Thrones all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna say no as well. The Waif, which is the girl who always hits stance Arya with a stick.
I hope so.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes. I think it ends with Arya killing that house.
Yeah.
Walder Frey. Does he die this season?
Oh God, yeah, of course.
You've got to bring him back for a reason, and if the fans want one person dead.
Oh God, more than anything, yeah.
I'm gonna go for it just because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Lancel Lannister.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Euron Greyjoy.
No.
I agree with you. Bronn.
Oh, I hope not. I think I know we can never kind of go off what's happened before, but the near death in the last series would mean that there's no chance of him in this series. You'd hope not, anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no with you as well. Yara Greyjoy.
No.
I'm gonna say no because I'd be annoyed if they brought the Greyjoys back just to kill them all off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I've put Alaria, the Sand Snakes, and Doran together. We don't think we'll see them, so no.
Nah, none of them.
Tristan Martell, who is with Jamie's boat going to King's Landing.
No. He'll either be thrown in a dungeon or Cersei will use him to fight for her.
I think Cersei will try and get him killed, but Jaime will like stick up for him.
I think. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, because I think he loved it. He loved Marcella.
The new red. Oh, okay, yeah, yes, I agree. The new red woman, Kivara.
No.
I'm gonna say yes. Podrick Payne.
Nah.
We are agreed on no.
No chance.
The three-eyed raven.
No, not unless it's some big sacrifice for Bran. I don't think
it could be the Yoda thing or the Obi-Wan thing. Yeah, because that could be a thing that gets Bran moving. But how does Bran get moving? Because it's only Hodor that can move him. So if the three-eyed raven's getting killed, it's going to be in a situation. How does Bran get away from said situation?
Yeah, no, that's true.
So I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Alistair Thorne.
I hope so.
First episode.
Yeah, I hope he dies.
Samuel Tarly.
No chance.
Can't. Olenna Tyrell.
Nah. She's too good.
She's too cool, isn't she?
Yeah.
The High Sparrow.
Yeah. First 10 minutes.
It'll be a shame to see Jonathan Pryce leave, but yes.
It will, but he's been excellent. Yeah.
He hasn't he? Hodor.
No, I don't want him to die. I don't want him ever to die.
He can't die.
I want him to take the throne.
Mira Reed.
No, I don't think so.
We are agreed. Balon Greyjoy.
Possibly. I'll go yes.
Same. We'll miss that one out this time after the confusion it caused. Varys.
Yes.
Right. You need to explain why Varys is going to die, because there's no chance Varys is dying.
I can't really explain. I've got a feeling that because some will go down in Marine, and I have no idea what, but I just think Varys is kind of not outstayed as well, because he's an excellent character. But I just got a feeling something's going to happen to him. I don't know why, but he will die.
I do not think. I disagree wholeheartedly. Tormund, Giant Spain.
I don't want him to. I think there's a potential for him to stand by Jon Snow this season, so I'll say no.
I agree. He's too cool. That beard. Grey Worm.
Nah.
Yeah, he had his near-death experience last time. Ollie. Yes. Oh,
I'd love to see Ollie die.
Fucking hang him, the little shite.
Yeah, hang him. Yeah.
I do not advocate violence against children, but Ollie is a cunt.
He's not a child. He's a little cunt. He doesn't deserve to live.
Yes. Roll highly, yes. Biggest celebration ever. Wug won the Giant.
No chance.
You can't die.
Nah.
That'd be the most demoralising thing ever to see your tank go down. My man, the star of the show, Mace Tyrell.
Nah. I don't
Agreed.
think so.
Gilly.
Nah. I don't think she's going to play too much of a role in this series. I don't think she'll die.
I think there's potential, because if Sam goes back in danger, but does he just leave her there with his family? But I'm going to say no as well. Qyburn, who is the Meister, Cersei's Meister, who makes the mountain alive again.
Again, he's too inconsequential to really mean anything. So if he does, that's fine. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I'd probably say no.
I'm going to say no as well. This is going to be impossible to say because we have no idea who he is. But Ian McShane's character. Let's just put Ian McShane. as if Ian McShane's going to be just like him.
No, I think he'd be in it for a few series.
I agree. Pycelle. It's time. He's old. Come on.
I hope so. He's annoying.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Miss Sandy.
No. We're going to see her and Grey Worm all loved up and happy. Until someone kills them both later on in this. Yeah. But no, she won't die.
Ed Tollett. Otherwise known as Jon's only surviving friend at the wall with long black hair, who was conspicuously nowhere to be seen when Jon was getting killed.
No, I don't think so.
I agree. I think my theory is that Ed's going to be the one who runs to the Wildlands to tell them Jon's been killed, because he's not. I'm pretty sure he's not in the shack with Davos.
Yeah.
So Davos is in the shack.
Yeah.
Ed's bringing the reinforcements. They're about to get munched down, and then the reinforcements arrive. I know the scene. Have you seen the scene of them smashing down the door into where they're hiding John's body?
Yeah.
I think that just as they're about to smash through the door, the gate gets smashed open by Wug One, and then the battle ensues.
Ooh,
but I think as well, another interesting theory, I was wondering, why do they want his body so bad? Now, I either think they know Melisandre's going to try and bring him back to life, or, a theory of mine that I've heard a few times, which I think is quite cool, is that potentially, because depending on the timelines of what's happening, Ramsay could find out Sansa's escaped, could have sent a raven to the wall, because he knows that the only place she's going to go is the wall because her brother's the Lord Commander. He's going to tell Fawn, or whoever gets the letter, to kill Jon Snow, or they're going to go and fucking murder them all, which would give them a reason to want the body, because they'd have to go and send the head back to Ramsay.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. Like, if Ramsay's the guy who killed Jon Snow, how else could you help him?
Fucking hell. That'd be shit.
Would it? And then the final human I can talk about, I think, Randall Tarley, Sam's dad.
No, I think. Well, he might. It depends how much he's going to be in it. I don't think there's any reason to kill him off.
It depends on how Sam gets the sword. I think it all depends on that. So I'm going to say no, but he could do. No, Ghost.
No chance.
He can't.
No,
he can't.
You can't kill him.
That'd be worse than Jon Snow dying.
It would.
And then any of the dragons.
None.
Think none?
None, no.
I think one will get the chop somehow. It won't be Drogon. It'll be one of the ones that Rhaegon or Viserion. It'll be one of those two. I think they'll kill.
Who would do that? Do you reckon?
I think there's a potential of. I think it's the Greyjoy thing. I think there's just potential there. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I just think one of the dragons could get it this year, and that it'd be a interesting thing to go. That is all our death predictions. We'll come back to that on the last episode we do of this season and see how wrong we all were. Now, before we close, how excited are you, Chris?
Incredibly excited, yeah.
Literally a week away now.
I know.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing.
So, that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, was the first episode of Geek of Thrones, God is a Geek's weekly Game of Thrones podcast. We'll be going live every week, I'd say, around about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mark. I know that's not exactly a narrow margin. I'll try and get a schedule tied down, but I'm a busy man who does 4 podcasts a week. Give me a break. They'll be going up around that day after the episode, obviously, and we'll be talking about every episode, every week, and giving our thoughts and stuff. So I hope you like this episode, and I hope you listen to the future. Please subscribe on iTunes, please rate, share with all your friends and all that type of stuff. And while you're doing that, why not be an absolute doll and go over to patreon.com/GodIsAGeek and just give us as little as $2, which is £1. I shit that in a fucking one sitting. A month.
We're worth it.
Yeah, a month.
We're worth it.
It's a month. Yeah, we saw that, and that helps us support a team of honest, hard-working, and very talented writers and content producers.
Definitely.
Help us do even more stuff. You know, this is the second God is a Geek podcast. We have videos every day, and more reviews than any. For a team of such a small size, we have more game reviews and more features than should actually be humanly possible. And if you could show us a bit of appreciation with a couple of quid here and there, we'd be massively grateful.
Yeah.
So you can follow God is a Geek on Twitter at God is a Geek. You can go on Facebook at God is a Geek. Just search it. YouTube.com/God is a Geek, and of course GodIsAGeek.com for all those lovely features that I just mentioned. And Chris, where can people find you on the old internet?
So you can find me at First Avenger 83. Not really anywhere else. Twitter's my main base at the moment, but yeah, go on there. Follow me. Give me a follow. Say hello. Yeah,
and you can follow me at Mabroski. I'll talk Bolton Wanderers, games, Game of Thrones with you. Everything. I'm on Mabroski on every social media work imaginable. And so thank you very much for joining us. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
Oh, there's always one.
I'm sorry.
Always one.
Sorry.
And it's goodbye from me. C'est la vie.